It's my pleasure to introduce Chancellor of UNC Charlotte, Dr. Sharon Gaber.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to start with a few introductions of people in the audience. First of all, Board of Trustees member Henry Atkins is here. Thank you for being here. I see Representative Terry Brown. Thank you for being here. Former Representative and alumnus Jason Sain, thank you for joining us. Director of Athletics Emerita, Judy Rose, and her husband Ken, thank you for joining us. And I want to extend a very special Niner welcome to the members of Wes Miller's family and friends who are with us today. Thank you for being here. This is an exciting day for Charlotte Athletics and for our university as we introduce the next leader of our men's basketball program. Tomorrow, it will be exactly 1 month since we were together last to welcome Kevin White, our athletics director, to Charlotte. And in a very short time, he has taken decisive action to position this program for the future. As Kevin has said, Charlotte's stock is rising, and this week's announcement is a direct reflection of that momentum. Bringing Wes Miller to Charlotte is a clear statement about the level at which we expect to compete and the direction we're going. It reflects a clear and confident vision for Charlotte basketball, one grounded in accountability and long-term success. Wes brings a relentless competitive energy, a passion for developing student athletes, and a track record of success at every level of his career. He knows what it means to earn everything the game can offer, from walking on at North Carolina to helping to win a national championship. He also understands basketball in North Carolina. He understands the talent, the culture, and the pride that define the sport in this state. He was born in Charlotte. He spent time as a student at Charlotte Country Day School. He played at Chapel Hill, and he coached very successfully at UNC Greensboro. He knows what it takes to build a program that this campus and this city can rally around. Plus, he happens to be a really great guy. When we had the opportunity to talk during this process, I was struck not only by his intensity and vision, but by how naturally he connects with people. I appreciated the authenticity Wes brought to our conversation. I know that authenticity will serve him well as he connects with our student athletes, alumni, supporters, and campus community. There's strong alignment between Wes, Kevin, and our university, and that alignment gives me great confidence in what lies ahead for Charlotte basketball. We believe the foundation is in place for something special. We're excited about what we will continue to build together. It's now my pleasure to welcome Athletic Director Kevin White to the stage to tell you more about our new head coach. Thank you.
Good afternoon, go Niners. We can do better than that, come on. Come on, go Niners. All right, thank you all for being here. Today is an important day for Charlotte basketball. It's an exciting day for our university, for our student athletes, and for the entire Niner Nation. Before I begin, I want to thank Chancellor Gaber for her leadership, her vision, and her continued support of the work we're doing here to elevate Charlotte athletics. I also want to thank our Board of Trustees for their support and belief in what we're building here in Charlotte. When we began this search, we were very clear about what we were looking for. We wanted a leader who understands what it takes to build a championship program. We wanted someone with deep ties to the state of North Carolina, someone who understands the culture, the talent, and the pride that comes with basketball in this region. We wanted a coach who could develop student athletes, not just as players, but as young men prepare for life beyond the game. And we wanted someone with energy, toughness, and relentless approach to competition. We didn't just want to hire a coach. We wanted to identify the right leader to build something that this university and this city could rally behind. And I can tell you with complete confidence, we found that leader. Wes Miller is a proven winner. 7 20-plus win seasons, 8 postseason appearances, over a decade of sustained success as a head coach. But what stood out most throughout the process wasn't his resume. It was his vision. It was his passion. And it was his belief in what Charlotte basketball can become. Wes understands this state. He understands this game. And he understands what it takes to build a program defined by toughness, discipline, and competitive edge. He has done it before, and he is ready to do it again here at Charlotte. This is a coach who has developed players, a coach who has built cultures, a coach who has teams compete every possession, every night. And just as importantly, he understands that this program is about more than basketball. It's about developing young men. It's about graduating leaders. And it's about representing the university the right way. Charlotte basketball has a proud history, but more importantly, it has incredible potential. We are in one of the best basketball states in the country. We are in a city that loves the game. And we have an opportunity right now to build something that brings this campus and this community together. Wes sees that. He believes in that. And he's ready to lead it. And I also want to say this clearly to the fans, to our alumni, and to the community. This is a program that we're going to invest in. This is a program that we're going to build the right way. And this is a program we expect to compete for championships. Because there is no reason, none, why Charlotte basketball cannot be one of the premier programs in our conference and beyond. But just like we've said before, it's going to take all of us. It takes alignment. It takes belief. And it takes energy in Halton Arena. And it takes a community that rallies behind this team. And I believe that is exactly where we're headed. Because Charlotte's stock is rising. And today we take another step forward. Wes, thank you for believing in this university. Thank you for believing in this program. And thank you for believing what we're building here together. We're thrilled to have you and Lauren as part of Niner Nation. And I'll say this to everyone here today. If you believe in toughness, if you believe in passion, if you believe in a team that competes every single night, then you're going to love Charlotte basketball. Because the next chapter starts right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our next head men's basketball coach at Charlotte, Wes Miller.
Wow. I got some notes to keep myself on task here, but I'm going to start by getting off the cuff, and you guys are going to have to get used to that a little bit. But I am completely overwhelmed by this, by all you guys showing up. I don't know if I had an expectation, but if I did, it wasn't this. So I'm sitting here thinking about this crowd right here for a press conference, and the next thing I'm thinking about is how we're going to get Halton Arena full, right? If we can do this for a press conference, we can get this place rocking. So, And then I got to thinking another thing when I was sitting over here as a coach, on this journey, this journey of growing and trying to get better every day, every week, every year as a coach. You're always trying to get some better self-awareness. And I won't get too deep today, I promise, but if you want to know anything about me, the first thing is, since I can remember, I just love the game of basketball. I don't think anybody loves the game of basketball more than me. The second thing, I love competition. Like, I want to compete in anything that I'm doing. So the fact that I get to compete every day as a coach is such a blessing. The third thing that I've just fallen in love with is this idea of bringing people together to be a team. Like, that process, that's special, and the ability to do that I don't take for granted. And the fourth thing, this is the thing that's been the most impactful for me in 15 years as a head coach, and it's the part that lasts past all the wins and championships, is being able to interact with young people. Like, the process of helping young people grow, of course as players, but also as young men, and watching them get an education and mature and go on in life. And I'm only 43, but I was a head coach at 27, so now a lot of those young people I coached they're old men now, and it's really cool that you were a part of that. And I'm saying all that now because when I walked out, I noticed you guys. And to see the current players in today's college basketball with all the wacky portal and moving around all show up for the new head coach's press conference, that's pretty cool. So thank you guys for being here, seriously. I want to start out by thanking Chancellor Gaber and Kevin White for believing in me and giving me an opportunity to do what I just absolutely love to do, and that's coach this game and be around young people. So thank you. I am energized, and I am like absolutely pumped up, fired up, more than I've ever been to be the head coach at Charlotte. Like, I could not be more excited, and I don't know how to express that well enough today, but it's not an energy that's going to dissipate here in a day or a week or a month. Like, it's a real, genuine energy that I think I can carry day after day and year after year. So I am thrilled to be here. The first thing as I started to go through the process that just jumped off the page to me was interviewing virtually a handful of days ago with Kevin and with Chancellor Gaber. And I kept hearing over the last handful of years, and certainly in text messages this week, I keep hearing this term about UNC Charlotte as a university, and sleeping giant. I keep hearing sleeping giant. And I did the Zoom with Chancellor Gaber, and I got off the Zoom. Her energy blew me away. For the leader of the university to have that level of energy, it just absolutely came through the screen, first and foremost. And her vision blew me away. And then I could tell from the many conversations that I had with Kevin the alignment of that energy and vision. So I hung up the phone and I went, there's no sleeping giant. There's a giant that's waking up. And there you go. And as Kevin said, is on the rise and on an ascension. And what I was so excited about with the opportunity here is that Chancellor Gaber and Kevin see men's basketball as one of the many facets of the university that can be a part of that ascension and a part of that rise. And I wanted to be somewhere where it was aligned from the leadership all the way down with the role and the importance of athletics and of men's basketball to a university. I felt that in the strongest way in my interaction with Chancellor Gaber and Kevin. The second thing that really jumped out to me here is it's been done here. Like, we're going to build a nationally competitive program that's sustainable not just a one good year. We're going to be sustainable and competitive with all of college basketball. And as Kevin said, we're going to do it the right way. We're not going to skip steps. But heck, guys, I want to do it next year, right? Like, there's not going to be patience. But as I think about Charlotte basketball, what's really special to me is that we've been that before. And I grew up in Charlotte. Charlotte is home to me. And I get nostalgic thinking about this program because when I was a kid and I'd come over to Prep Stars basketball camp and my mother would drive me over here, Coach Lutz had this thing humming. This program was in the NCAA tournament year after year. It was nationally competitive. And so there's a great tradition. I was born in 1983, so 77's a little before my time with the Final Four. But whether it's Cornbread Maxwell, Final Fours, Jeff Mullins, Melvin Watkins, Bobby Lutz, and countless players. Joby Thomas was like my favorite. He probably doesn't even know me, but when I was a kid in Charlotte, Joby Thomas was like a hero to me. There's countless players. There's history and there's tradition here. And there are not many places in college basketball. It's always been important to me to be able to coach places like that. I know we have that here, and I look forward to bringing that back and taking that further. The third thing that just jumps off the page is I'm home. And I will not get emotional. I'll do that after some special things happens with the players, but I'll not get emotional. But I feel emotional because North Carolina's home. I'm 43. 33 of my 43 years have been spent in this state, whether it was Charlotte, Chapel Hill, or Greensboro. And I told you guys I love hoops. This is the hoop state. Anybody that's from here, that's involved in basketball, we have the best basketball in this state. We have the best grassroots basketball in this state. We have the best college basketball in this state. And when you leave this state, you wear that like a badge of honor. So I have pride, whether I was here or somewhere else, in being from the hoop state, spending a lot of my life in the hoop state, and I'm so excited to be back in the hoop state. And then the second aspect of not just North Carolina is to be in Charlotte. Like our community here, and I should go back. At 10 years old, my mother, my younger brother and sister, we moved here from Greensboro, and Charlotte is always, no matter where I was, been the place that I was home. Guys, when my mom's been here for 33 years, wherever your mother lives is the place that you call home. So I have great nostalgia and deep feelings for Greensboro and Chapel Hill, but no matter where I was, home was where my mom was, so home was, she's gonna make me cry, home was always Charlotte. So Charlotte is special to me. Basketball in Charlotte is special to me. In this program, there's been some of the best players in this city that have stayed here. I talked about Joby. Kurt Withers was my age. He stayed and played here. And I could go on and on. I don't want to leave people out. But Charlotte is special for basketball. It's also an incredible community that's been on the rise for 30 years or 40 years since I can remember. And I'm so excited to be somewhere that I feel this way about. And the university is going to get on that same rise that this city is. Couple things, because I can get long-winded, so I'll try to keep it short as I can. But our program, first things first, we're going to play hard, we're going to play smart, and we're going to play together. It's going to be built on players and serving young people, first and foremost, okay? Values, and this is where I get excited. We're going to care a lot. We're going to care about relationships. We're going to care about what we represent with the university. We're going to care about the community. We're going to care. We're going to be caring people in a caring program. Second thing, we're going to work. And I take a lot of pride in our work ethic. It'll be second to none, but it's also going to be smart and efficient. The third thing, we're going to fight. And I don't mean fighting like in the wrong way. I mean, we're going to have an edge, a competitiveness, a physical toughness, a mental toughness, we're going to fight. And then the fourth thing in our program that you can bank it is we're going to be resilient. Today's the day you think about being in this arena with it sold out, cutting nets down, and doing all these great things that I envision for this program. But that path is going to have ups and downs and peaks and valleys. When we have the bad days, we're going to respond quickly. When we have the great days, we're going to respond quickly by not being satisfied. We're going to be a resilient and responsive group. And then the final value that I have for everything that we do is we're going to find people that want to live that, not just talk about it, not just put it on some wall or some sheet of paper. We're going to live the things that we believe in from top to bottom in our program. Style of play. We're going to play a style of play that people want to support and people want to get behind. First things first, we're not going to allow the other team to play the way that they practice every day. We're going to have a defensive mentality on that end of the floor. We're going to rebound the ball at the highest level, and that'll be a non-negotiable for any player that wants to play for UNC Charlotte. We're going to play in the open court, but we're also going to value the ball. We're going to play team-oriented offensive basketball, and we're going to let guys play with freedom and confidence within who they are. I can't wait to start sharing that vision with the current players here and the guys that we'll target in recruiting. I think over the next 1 to 2 weeks, it's imperative that we go out and put together, and I assure you the work is already starting, a staff that aligns with the values that we're trying to get behind and the vision we have for this program. We will do that. It'll be a staff that's diverse in skill set, diverse in their strengths, that has experience, wisdom, youthful energy. We are going to build a high-level staff that works together well as a team the same way that we want to build a roster. The second thing is we got to go put a team together. And I'm excited that we get the opportunity to do that. I assure you guys we will do that, and we'll put one together that can be incredibly competitive next year. I'm going to finish, because again, I could do this all day talking about basketball. We just recognizing some people. Again, thank you to the current players that are here. I want to point out my family, my mother Susan, my father Ken, their significant others, and my beautiful, beautiful significant other, Lauren. Lauren, you can wave at everybody. There you go. I'm going to brag on Lauren a little bit because she's from Charlotte as well. She went to Providence Day School, and I drug her up to the state of Ohio for the last couple years. And when I landed in Charlotte a couple days ago, I can't tell you the amount of peace and joy that I had to be home and to be where I really believe I belong. The only person that feels even more so that way than me is Lauren. She's seen enough snow for a lifetime, and I'm really glad I get to bring her home. She's been incredible for me as a coach and really helped me find myself again with the personal side of my life. So my best recruit, I'm glad that we get to come home. All right. Obviously, I want to thank all the university leadership that's here today. I heard Chancellor Gaber talk about some members of the board, former athletic director. That means a lot. I want to thank any of the people in the athletic department that are here, any of the people in any of the broader campus community that are here. I look forward to getting to know you all. I am outgoing. I'm the guy that you can walk up and talk to, but it might be more than 2 minutes, okay, because I can talk with the best of them. But I want to let everybody know in this campus community that I'm not just excited to build a program, I'm excited to work with you all and partner with you all. The former players, the former coaches, I had a great conversation with Bobby Lutz last night. I thought this said a lot about him. He said, I'm not coming tomorrow because I want it to be about you. And today will be the last day it's about me because it's going to be about the players after this. But, wow, I want to make sure that the people that came before me in this program know that they'll be recognized, They'll be celebrated, they'll be welcome here, and they'll be appreciated. Our students, do we have any students here? There we go. All right, I was told this walking in. I was told I could say 40. All right, that's okay. That's just okay. I want like a high standard here, like we're coaching. 40. All right, there we go. All right. Now we're talking, Kevin. All right. Players, you guys see that? That's how we got to talk on defense. We're going to engage this student body, and I can't believe how well it's represented here today for a dang press conference. How cool was that? That's awesome that you guys are here. We're going to get this place rocking. We're going to make this a great experience for you guys, and 15,000 students on campus is what I've been told. We need to have lines to get in this place. So I look forward to getting out and interacting with our students, our fans, our boosters, our supporters. Go buy season tickets now. Go get them now while you can get them. We need you. We need to make this a home court advantage. We need your support to compete in the new era of college basketball. The university is stepping up. They want this to be nationally competitive. That won't be enough. We need the fans and the boosters to get behind this too. I can't wait to get out and meet all you guys. And then I want to leave on this. For a couple days over the last week, I wasn't a basketball coach. And I will never forget Chancellor Gaber and Kevin White for giving me an opportunity to do what I love to do again at a place that I really believe in and a place that I feel is home. I will reward that every single day and think about that every single day I wake up to do this job. So let's get this thing started. Go Niners, and thank you guys.
We'll now open the press conference up for questions from our attending media. Luke will hand you the mic. Please identify yourself and your outlet before asking your question.
Wes, Nick Carboni from WCNC Charlotte, right over here to your right. You spent your first couple of years at Cincinnati in the American, really the beginning of portal and NIL. How did that inform you of how you need to compete in this conference in that landscape of college basketball?
Yeah, it's something that I talked to Kevin about, that I'm not going to say that I completely understand any league because we haven't been in it for 3 years. And the league did change a little bit. But the foundation of the league is very similar. We'd been through some battles over a 2-year period. And at least I thought there was some awareness, so when we hit the ground here, we'd have a much better understanding of what we had to do had we not had that experience. But I'll tell you what, I have great respect for this league, great respect for the programs and coaches in this league, and I think this league has a great opportunity to be on the rise like our university and get back to being a multi-bid league. And as I'm doing my work here over the last handful of days to get back up to speed, there's a lot of programs that are making bigger investments, and I do think it can become one of the best non-Power 4 leagues in the country.
Wes, right here. Yeah. Hunter Bailey with the Charlotte Observer. First, congrats. Welcome to Charlotte. Have you slept at all?
So I talked to the players briefly the other day, and I tried to interact with each of them just in passing, one-on-one. I'm going to meet with these guys over the next couple days. I'm telling you all that, and I'm going to answer your question. Anton Bonk, who's not here, he's in Europe. When I met him, he looked at me and says, "Are your eyes always that dark?" He said he's watching today, so there's his shout out. But I said, well, not this dark, because I probably hadn't slept a lot. But no, I haven't gotten a ton of sleep. But as I started my press conference, it hasn't affected me because I have so much energy. But once we get our staff in place and get our feet on the ground, we'll get plenty of rest.
Obviously, you spent 5 years in Cincinnati. What is it like on the personal side of going from being somewhere for that long it not working out and being able to kind of jump into something you talked about that's so welcoming?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, coming home has been special. I'm proud of what we did in 5 years there through a ton of different transitions, including a transition to the Big 12, a transition with NIL. The program was in a very difficult place in year one there. I'm really proud. I think we left the program in a much better place than we found it. It's ready to compete in the top third of that league year after year now, so I'm proud of that. But my first day on the job at Cincinnati, I'd never been in the city before. And it took some time to figure out the area, the recruiting, the landscape. I'm going to get back here to Charlotte, and I'm still going to act like I've never been here before. There's things that have changed. There's people that I need to build relationships with. We'll do that. But it's a completely different feeling because, again, 33 of 43 years of my life have been spent in this community, in this state, and certainly in the basketball circles here.
Cam Gaskins with WBTV. This is for Kevin. When we were here, less than a month ago for your press conference, Chancellor Gaber shared with us the checklist the school had when looking for an athletics director. I'm curious, your first hire in this position, what was your checklist for the men's basketball program, and how quickly in the process did you identify Wes as a guy that fit, checked those boxes?
Yeah, first and foremost, I wanted to look for somebody that wanted to do things the right way, had a track record of doing things the right way, because we're not going to sacrifice and lack integrity in the way that we conduct our business. The second thing is we wanted a winner. We wanted someone that has won places that they've been head coaches before. Head coaching experience wasn't necessarily something that we had to have, but it was very important. When you look at Wes's record over the last 10 years, he's won 22 and a half, almost 23 games a season. It's not many coaches in college basketball have done that. He's been a head coach for 15 years, right? In those 15 years, he's averaged 20 wins a season, nearly 20 wins a season. And so all those things are really, really important to us because we wanted to find the best leader we possibly could for this basketball program. He had extra ties, obviously, to North Carolina, which gave him a little bit of kudos points because somebody that could come in and recruit this state, but also understand the city of Charlotte, and also understand how much talent we have available to us if we just keep people home and put a fence around our state. And so, despite what people may think, the first time, obviously people know that Wes and I both went to the University of North Carolina's Chapel Hill. My first time talking to Wes live in person was Tuesday night. That's the first time I ever talked to him. And we probably talked 30 times since then, but that was our first interaction personally. But I've always followed him since his days at North Carolina. For him being a walk-on starting at JMU, averaging 4 points a game, whatever it was, and finding a way to get to North Carolina and scratch and claw to become a captain, to become a starter, to win a national championship. That tells you a little bit about him, but it tells you that he has grit, he has perseverance, and he's got a chip on his shoulder, and that's exactly what I think we needed for our next leader.
So Richard Walker with the CarolinaSportsHub.com. Obviously, when you left Charlotte to begin your college journey, this campus was a little bit different. What was your reaction being here, and how frequently have you been back since to see how much growth has been in this program?
I had not been back on campus, which is crazy, but I had not been back on campus since I was in high school at Prep Stars basketball camp. And when I was driving through campus a few days ago for the first time, I said to Kevin, I couldn't believe it. The thing that we have to do is we have to get the word out, because this is as nice of a college campus as I've ever been on, and I had no idea. And I'm from here, and for 10 years I worked about an hour and a half down the road. So I was blown away. We got to get the word out to how special this is. Certainly it'll be something that we really sell in the recruiting process.
Coach Mike Lissette from Queen City News. You sort of touched on it, and Kevin sort of touched on it, but coming off the Cincinnati experience and while you were looking for a job, he mentioned that chip on your shoulder. Can you elaborate on what kind of a chip you're bringing in right now?
I think the people that know me best they've been trying to get me to take the chip down just a little bit because as I get older, I try to manage that. But no, I think when it comes to competitiveness, especially the game of basketball, that's always been there. That is there in the highest way that it can be as a coach. But like we're trying to teach players how to use their strengths. I've gotten a lot better as a coach at channeling that the right way.
For both Kevin and Wes, Ashley Mahoney with Axios. You've both touched on investment. Wes, for you, what does that investment entail? What do you need from the university in order to make this program successful? And Kevin, what investment do you expect to install over the forthcoming season?
That was a crucial part of my interest here in accepting this job. And Kevin alluded to it when he was speaking, and it was something that Chancellor Gaber alluded to in the interview process. But if you'd have told me I could be the head coach at Charlotte, I'd have been as excited to hear about that. But I wasn't willing to go coach somewhere in today's climate if they weren't willing to be invested. So that is a huge factor in how excited I am to lead this program and accept this position. I think the first way that we have to be invested is we have to be invested in the top third of this league, resource-wise. You know, we want to compete for championships in this league, but I think we need to be invested in like the top third resource-wise. It's something that Kevin and I talked about quite a bit, and I think it may not happen overnight, but the university, the athletic department is committed to that, and that excited me.
Yeah, I think Wes said it well, Ashley. You know, the investment piece for us was really understanding where our peers were and trying to understand where we had ground to make up. But I think the investment goes beyond just money. It's not just about money, it's about making smart decisions. And so for us, being able to put strategies, systems, analytics behind some of the decisions that help inform those decisions was really something that we continue to really want to invest in, but also make sure that we're mindful of how can we be smarter with the resources that we have in order to make better decisions.
Wes, Hunter Bailey with the Charlotte Observer. You look around in the back here, obviously banners, you talk about the 70s, Bobby Lutz in the early 2000s. It's been 2005, the last time this program was in the NCAA tournament. How important is it to you to break that drought?
Results are important. Guys, I'll dream every day. I love sitting here with you guys, but I'll dream and work every day to be coaching right now, not sitting at a press conference, right? Because the NCAA tournament's going on right now. So that's certainly a result that we'll be chasing and is achievable here. And this is a program that needs to get back in the NCAA tournament. But what we do day to day will be much deeper than that. It'll be about building something that can sustain itself, that improves and grows one day at a time. And we'll live that. And I really believe we'll find those results. Like, I truly believe that. But in a very direct way, it's time to get UNC Charlotte basketball back in the NCAA tournament, and we'll be driven to do that daily.
I'm sure that wasn't for my question. Wes, Deshaun Brown with WSOC here in Charlotte. I am curious, when you're coming into a program, a university that is under new leadership with Kevin here, and you are the first hire, what comes with that from your perspective?
Well, it's funny. Kevin was showing me around the other day, and I said, how many weeks you been here? So I think he's learning too. I think the leadership that I was able to interact with is what excited me and what made me feel like this was a great fit. But Kevin just getting here, I think it's fun because we're going to be on this journey together. And I felt great alignment between Kevin and I. I think Kevin and I have talked so much on the phone. We talked on the phone more to each other than anybody else here the last 5 days. But then I also felt that Kevin was aligned with Chancellor Gaber, and that is what was most important to me, was the alignment across the board.
Wes, Hannah Brady with the Highway 49 podcast over here. First, congratulations. Welcome to Charlotte. I know you have strong ties here in Charlotte. You spent most of your teen years, and I feel like the word that keeps coming up to describe you is passionate. And we've seen your passion today. You have players here, you have students here, just outside of basketball. What do you want Niner Nation to know, as well as students, players here, about who you are as a person outside of basketball?
That's a great question. How much time do you have? I'll answer the question, but I think I have this just deep relationship with the game, and now that's turned into this deep relationship with coaching and this passion for that, as you mentioned. And I think people that know me, even on a surface level, know that, but there is a lot more depth to me. And I look forward to people getting to know that. I first and foremost, as I've gotten a little bit older, I love family. Like I appreciate time with family and loved ones. I've really grown to value real, genuine friendships, and I have some unbelievable ones. I do like to have a good time, but a good time to me is jumping around in the locker room after a big win, and I like the process every day of working for that. And I don't get to do it much, but I do like to tee it up when I can and play some golf. So we got anybody out there that, now we're going to have to get competitive. I don't do the fun golf games like I want to win. But no, there is quite more to me than just coaching basketball. And I look forward to getting to know everybody and showing that side of it too.